Let me tell you something. I'm not here to impress, but I'm here to improve you. Listen to this. If there's a real God, there's a fake God. If there's a real friend, there's a fake friend. If there's a real answer, there's a fake answer. You are not getting me. Let me tell you about you. Modimo uhufumane tsileng ya tahleho. Untse o buswa ke ditakatso tsa hao. It might not make sense today, it might not make sense now, but listen to this. I want to tell you something. Moses was taking the children of Israel to Canaan in Israel. That is in the book of Joshua. Let me tell you, that didn't mean that Moses was destined to arrive in Canaan. Moses, God used him as a vehicle just to move the children of Israel from their problem land, which is Egypt, right up to the middle. But there's a time when God decides that certain people in your life, you don't have to acquire them as permanent people, because one way or the other, you should know that you're going to lose them. Be it that they do right, be it that they do wrong, be it that God has decided. You are not getting me. At a point in the book of Deuteronomy 34, God decided that Moses' duty is done on the children of Israel. In the book of Deuteronomy 34, God took Moses and he said, Moses, you don't have a choice now. It is your time to die. He took Moses into a mountain called Mount Nebo. Hey, at that time, they say Moses was 120 years. Oh my God. There's certain people in your life that they come to do a certain mission, and after their mission, they are done. So do not think that certain people in your life, they are permanent. Certain people in your life, they are temporarily. Just like your Moses, he did what God expected him to do. Oh my God. In Deuteronomy 31, God decided to bring a man called Joshua, and decided and said, Joshua, for the sake that I've led Moses at 120 years to go to Mount Nebo to die, you will take the children of Israel to Canaan. My God. So God will bring your Joshua. You're not getting me. Sometimes certain people, they are not your Moses of the time. They are not your Joshuas of the time. You'll find certain people that come in your life to take your blessings. You'll find certain people in your life that are not happy about your well-being. You'll find certain people in your life that they are not happy. From childhood, they are targeting your own blessings. When God gives you blessings, when God put grace upon you, there are certain people that snatch it and take it. Let me correct you. There's a possibility, it does happen, that your grace, your blessings is taken away or God remove it. Taken away by the enemy or God remove it willingly. You are not getting it. Let me tell you something. There are certain times, I'll give an example about madness and not having kids. Sometimes certain people, they go mad for a long time, and somewhere along the line they start to be sober and they start to understand who they are. I'll give some Bible verses. Sometimes certain women, they want to give birth, but they are barren, they can't have kids until a certain time when God decides that the grace and the blessing has to go back to where it belongs. I'll give an example in the book of Genesis 25. Oh my God. When I say there are certain people that come in your life just to take your blessings, I'll give an example in the book of Genesis 25. There was a man called Esau and Jacob. Esau and Jacob, when they were still in their mother's womb, the Bible says they wrestled in the womb. You are not getting me. You are not getting. They wrestled in the womb, meaning Esau knew that this man Jacob is chosen as a brother. And again, when they were living here on earth, Esau was a hunter, and Jacob, in the book of Genesis 25, Jacob was a shepherd. But Esau saw that Jacob has got blessings upon, and he went to kneel down his father to take Jacob's blessing. But let me tell you something. There are certain people that they've got a mission to just take what belongs to you. Let me tell you, sometimes when such happen, God, when people take your blessing, God knows that they took his blessing and he can reverse. Let me give you an example about a madman. In the Bible they say, Jesus reversed the madness of a man. Oh my God. In the book of Luke 8 verse 35, let me tell you something. They say the people came and looked at the madman and they found him kneeling down on the feet of Jesus. And the Bible says he was clothed, meaning he was always naked, and they were afraid. It's not me, it's the Bible. Luke 8 verse 35. Because why? They assume that the blessing is gone, but when God decided, he reversed and make a madman to be sober again. A woman couldn't get children for quite the longest time until God decided and said, this is an error, it needs to be corrected. There was a woman called Sarah. Sarah was the wife to Abraham. They couldn't get children. He was barren until the age of 90 when God decided to say, I need to reverse the case. Again, you look at Samson's parents in the book of Judges 13. The same happened and God said, I will reverse the case and give them kids. Again, there was a woman called Hannah. The Bible says he was barren for 19 years. In the book of 1 Samuel 1, he was barren for 19 years. But when God decided, he changed his story. Sometimes when you are on a path of life, there are certain people that come there to take your blessing, to remove the grace. Some they put hand upon your head. They are taking your blessing. There are certain people that they are not happy about your life. But when God changes your story, do not forget where you are coming from. I always give an example or a story about a man called David. David was so blessed that God was entrusting him with his life. Remember, Ark of the Covenant was God himself. Now, David, when he was looking after the Ark of the Covenant, he was supposed to move Ark of the Covenant. But God told him who to take and who not to take. But David decided to take friends, to take your Uzzah, to take your Uriah, and all the rest. But when he took his friends, in the middle of the road, when the Bible says when they come to the threshing floor, the Ark of the Covenant nearly fell because the ox wagon leg broke. But when there's a man called Uzzah who tried to hold the Ark of the Covenant, because remember, on the way as they were coming, they said David was playing a harp thinking that he's playing for God. But God was angry, not even hearing the sound, because David left the people that God chose. Oh my God. But as they were on the way, when the ox wagon broke the leg, Uzzah tried to hold, and God smite him and struck him, and he died. And David only when his senses came back. Let me tell you, and he was afraid. It says, when God has decided to bless you, do not despise God and thinking that you are better than God and try to change the story and live your own life instead of living for God. The Bible says if you want to go far, go with God. If you want to go near, go alone. After David was afraid, his grace that was upon him ran out because now he was afraid to even touch Ark of the Covenant. The Bible says everyone that was around Ark of the Covenant couldn't touch Ark of the Covenant. In the book of 2 Samuel 6 verse 11, there was a man called Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom came and collected Ark of the Covenant. When he collected Ark of the Covenant, the Bible says he was living in Straight Street. He had 2 daughters. He put the Ark of the Covenant in his house and he was blessed forever. The very same people who saw Obed-Edom or who were staying next to Obed-Edom, because they were the spies of David, they went to David and said, David, Obed-Edom is blessed beyond measure by God. But let me tell you, when your enemies hear, David, remember at the time wanted Ark of the Covenant. So they went to tell him, thinking that David will go and snatch Ark of the Covenant again. But when you are chosen by God, when God remember you at the destined time, he will give you Ark of the Covenant and you will be blessed beyond the measure. Even your David of the time will not be able to come and take it back. Because why? It is not your choice to have an Ark of the Covenant. It is God who has decided. Sometimes, let me tell you this. Sometimes in your life, when you live in your life, you think that you've got challenges as you go along. But God is preparing you. He's taking you through stages that at a time, you would know and you'll be able to separate from the good and bad. You'll be able to separate from those that like you and those that hate you. You'll be able to separate from the real friends and the unreal friends. You'll be able to separate from the real people in your life and the unreal people in your life. You are not getting me. When those people come to try to snatch your blessing, just like you are Esau and you are Jacob, oh my God, God will reverse the blessing and say, they took this man's blessing that I've given. I'm snatching it back as God and giving back to him. Like in the book of Luke 8 verse 35, when he gave back to the madman. Like with Sarah, when he gave her the pregnancy at 90 years. Like in the book of Judges, when he blessed Samson's father with a son. Like in the book of Hannah at 19 years of barrenness. You are not getting me. And let me tell you conclusively, when God decides to come upon your head, when God decides to give you the grace and the blessing, no one, I'm telling you, no one will take the blessing away. Just like the man called Obed-Edom. I pray that God give you your Obed-Edom. I pray that God present you as Obed-Edom so that you may be blessed and be increased forever. So that whatever pain turn to laughter. So whatever pain turn into blessing. Don't worry whatever is going on in your life. God has got a mission about your life and He will increase you. You will be the Obed-Edom of this time. You will be blessed so that David cannot even snatch the Ark of the Covenant.